Greetings, traveler.
But it works. So that's how I usually arrive at the stuff. All right, so that's cool, right? So now that we have our notes, I'm gonna put this on the other screen. So Dark Iron Dwarf is a really, really good card. It suits the kind of curve we're looking for. Now, because we said we're looking for about 2 to 4 high quality 4-drops, this is one of the highest quality 4-drops. We could pick Starfall for AoE or the Wrath, but neither of these are really necessities based on, you know, what we've seen. So we're gonna go and pick Dwarf, and that's like one of our 4-drops gone, right? All right, so this is a bit of a whiff. So this might be attributed to the flex slot. I think out of everything, the raid leader's probably still best, but this doesn't really count for anything. If anything, this might push our 5 mana cards down a bit. I think for the rivals, I'm definitely gonna be drafting in this fashion. Okay, Savage Combatant is another really high quality 4-drop. So this might turn out as a deck that has a bit on the higher side of the 4 mana cards because we're getting high quality 4 mana cards. This is another concept, right? When you're figuring out the ideal curve, a lot of it depends on where your quality is in the draft. If you have a lot of quality on a certain curve, you'll probably increase that because the goal is to get the highest quality draft you can while it's still being optimal, while it's still being functional. So if we are getting a bit higher volume of 4 mana cards, that's okay because they're all going to be really good. Now, Savage Combatant could also push down the need for a 6 mana card, so that's good to keep in mind as well. Blessing of Ancients would be one of our flex slots, and Pit Fighter, we said we want, let's say 2, right? What do I have here? 2 high quality 5s only. So this is a good example of when we mapped that curve out earlier. If we say that if we get 2 of them, we're fine, then we definitely pick the Blessing of Ancients here, right? So it's one of our flex slots. Okay, so we haven't picked 2 mana cards yet. So that's getting a little scary. But I think we can still pick Scribe. Scribe still under-bucketed, still a really good card, and we want a couple of them. We are going to keep a very watchful eye over it. But I think especially with these kind of picks early. Also, we talked about how if we get a bit more 4 mana cards, we won't need as many 2 mana cards because the good 4-drops are, they cover turn 4. You don't need double 2-drop. So still pick the Scribe for now. Okay, I think this is probably a clear Aspirant. Aspirant is a super high quality 2-drop, and we want lots of 1 to 2 mana cards. So yeah, slam dunk it. Okay, good example of the Raven, right? We have a high quota, a high number of 1 to 2 mana cards to fill, and the Menace nor the Ironbark are required based on our analysis. All right, so this is reach and flex, but at the same time, we already have this raid leader that doesn't really contribute to our curve, and we have this Blessing of Ancients that also doesn't really contribute to our curve. Both of them are more likely to be played on 5, though, so if anything, we might only end up with 1, maximum 2 5-drops, right? I guess it depends on how many actual 3 mana cards we get. Dreamway Guardians, I wasn't like super impressed with it, but I might still pick it over a Jouster. Starfire is still an option, but it is one of those flex slots, so I don't think we want that, right? Yeah, this is going to be fun, man. I'm going to draft like this during Rivals. Just really, really on top, right? Okay, so this might be another good opportunity to refer to our notes. We could go with the Soldier of Fortune, but we're currently doing more than fine on turn 4. If we pick this Blessing of Ancient, it yet again pushes down the need for 5 mana cards, so we might end up with just the 1 good 5-drop. I don't think we want Mount Cellar. We currently have Scribe and maybe Combatant, right, for those. Is the reroll rule still in play? No. It's just 3 runs. You have 3 runs. I think I still want it, yes. So now that you have two Blessings of Ancient, or Blessings of Ancients, you probably want to, like you're fine with picking a slightly lower curve, right? Now, I still think we pick Scribe. It works out too well. So we're getting a lot of quality right now, right? So the first half of the first third of the draft, I think we just went with highest quality card. Right now, it's going to become a lot more important to move towards the curve and not so much the quality. Because with the 2 Scribes and the Combatant, you could not pick a single late game card anymore, and this deck is probably fine. Now, knowing how most drafts go, it is likely that we are going to get offered another 1 or 2 cards we probably can't refuse. But what this does do for us is if it's ever close, we just don't even look at the heavier card. So if it's ever close, we just go with the cheaper card. Runic Egg is pretty awkward, but it is a cheap card for buffing. We have Dark Iron Dwarf and Raid Leader. Mogushan Warden, while obviously being more useful than a Runic Egg, is a 4-mana card, and it's going to make the curve a bit more awkward, because we did say we want 2 to 4 4-mana cards, and we already have our 2 like check marked here. So this is sort of that freedom we get with knowing that curve up front, is if we do not get a single 4-mana card right now, that is okay. So I think we just go with the Runic Egg, even though I don't like it. We have enough buffs to make it a bit more relevant. All right, so this is a good example, right? This is a good example of looking at a curve and being like, well, I didn't really want any of these, but you know, it's gonna happen because that's draft, right? It's arena. Arena isn't always going to work with whatever plan you had, but if you have a plan, you're more likely to arrive at your destination than not. Based on our analysis earlier, I think it's the Yeti. Even though Sky Golem is a good card, we said we wanted 2 to 3 like 6+ers. So that is not, you know, if we pick our 3rd high quality late game card here, it's just going to be so much more likely that our curve isn't really going to be what we want it to be. So we'll pick the Yeti because we said 2 to 4 high quality 4s, and hey, I mean, it's another high quality 4-drop. It just means that we never have to settle for 4-mana cards. This is a good example again. Normally, right, you look at this and you're like, oh, Shredder's great. But if we look at the numbers we had in mind, it's not the Shredder, right? And we did say the first 10 cards of the draft, we focused on quality. And that doesn't mean that that's like a rule set in stone, right? Sometimes you need to focus on quality a bit longer. But we had a very high quality start. With Double Blessing, we had Scribe, Combatant, good 4-mana cards. So now we are much, much, much more worried about curving out than the pure quality of the draft. So I like the Juggler here for sure. Especially with the Blessings. Oh man, especially with the Blessings, the need for 5-mana cards also goes down. So I'm not, you know, like if we get 1 5-mana card, it's probably fine. You could pick the Rat here, but I think we're still picking Scribe because I'm not a huge fan of the Rat right now. And Scribe does have really good interactions with the Blessing of Ancient, the Raid Leader and stuff. So I'm going to go pick the Scribe, and if the deck ends up being a tad heavier, that's probably okay because it means that almost every late game card we picked was top tier. Because why would we pick a late game card right now that is not top tier, if that makes sense? So that's sort of the extra freedom we get in the draft right now. Okay. This is a bit unfortunate, basically a whiff, but we'll go ahead and pick the Bronze Gatekeeper. There could potentially be some magnetic. It's not the worst with the buffs. Would you pick a Kraken with 3 Scribes already? Only if I'm really not happy with the other cards, Jute. All right, Microtech Controller is a great 3-drop for what we're doing, but Sunreaver Spy is a 2-mana card. We have 3 4-drops, so we don't need as many 2-mana cards. We can probably push it down to 10 1 and 2s combined or so. We got 3 2-mana cards now. I think I'm going to go with the Microtech, just based off the 4-drops, right? Because we have the 4 mana cards, I'm gonna prioritize the good 3 mana card. All right. Whew. That's a bit of a curveball here. So if you look at our flex slot, if we pick the Ancient, we're essentially full, but we don't really need a Proud Defender. We can be very, very picky with our 4 mana cards. We can be extremely picky with our 4 mana cards because we're already done, right? Our curve is fine, so we can be unbelievably picky with 4 mana cards right now. Also 6 mana cards, so I think we just picked the Blessing. It's just based off an analysis of both the curve cards, right? So we go Blessing. All right, definitely not Pit Fighter, even though it's a good card. We talked about how the 5 slot is less relevant with all the 3 mana cards, because a lot of these 3 mana cards we're going to want to play on turn 5. With that in mind, the Hawk's Teeth becomes very, very, very tempting because we need 2 mana cards to go with our 3 mana cards on turn 5. However, Ogre Brute is tempting. It's also another high quality card, and we do only have 1 actual 3-drop. But I think I will add the Bronze Gatekeeper to the curve as well, and say that we are 2 out of 4, 2 out of 5. So 2 out of 4, 2 out of 5 will make me pick the Hawk's Teeth, just because having a slight increase in 2 mana cards is not bad for turn 5, right? So it's funny. We have like slightly less 2 mana cards if we end up with 4 4-drops or so, but then slightly more again because we're not going to pick any 5s most likely. So it's really funny how that works. Like you add a little here, you take a little here. Okay, I think this is a super clear Spring Rocket. We talked about everything, right? It's something we can play on curve. We can be super picky with our 4 mana cards, and we want things we can actually play on 3, not so much on 5. So I think it's a super clear Spring Rocket. Okay, not Mulch, I would say. Mulch falls under the category of the flex slot, and the flex slot's pretty full right now. Got those 3 Blessings of Ancient. So solid 2 mana card. We're probably going to go with the Saber, just because we can charge it out if we wish. Robocop's really good though. But being able to charge Saber and then buffing, that's quite nice. We also have Dwarf, so turn 6 we can play this in charge mode, then buff it with the Dwarf, and that's good. So let's go and pick this. All right, well, pretty clear 2 mana card. We just have no need for the others, so moving on. All right, well, once again, pretty clear 2 mana card and no need for the others. So hey, the draft is sort of working out. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a count. We're 22 cards in right now. I'm not going to count Runic Egg as a curve drop, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We said that we were aiming for 11, 12, 1 to 2 mana cards. And we did say that the need for 5 mana cards did go down. So I think we're still quite happy picking Raven here. Same argument. If we end up with 0 5 mana cards, that's not a problem with Triple Blessing. And good 2 mana card is super useful. Okay, I think we're close to hitting our goal, right? And we can start to focus a bit more on other stuff, although the deck's pretty much done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, well, another 2, 3 for me is fine. Arcane Anomaly would also be fine. I think the 2, 3 still makes a slightly more sense just because of that turn 5. We can play Raider plus Blessing of Ancient. All right, well, the flex slot is pretty full and Piggy is super useful, so we'll just pick another Piggy. That's fine. Hey, look at that. Okay, well, the same philosophy still applies. Because we were already doing really well on turn 4, we could be unbelievably picky, and we'll just pick the Combatant here. Based on the curve we made up for ourselves, we have no need for this Raider because we already have 3 Scribes. So I'll just pick the Combatant. All right. We can look at all of these because at some point you'll just have everything, right? Hopefully. At some point you'll just have enough, so then you can just do pure quality. Stormwind Champion, even though it's not quite required, with triple Eccentric Scribe, it goes up a ton in value. So I will say that if you look at this pack, you check the other 2. If you don't need them, you just pick the champ. If we look at our 2 mana cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we hit 12, and we don't need the 4s. So we don't really need any of them. So we'll just go ahead and pick the champ. And then we have 2 cards left. This could honestly be a Fen Creeper, just to have 1 5-drop. And it is a taunt minion. It can be relevant. It can protect Savage Combatant after we play it. It's funny because we can be super picky with our 5 slot and then we end up with a Fen Creeper. But I honestly think that these types of bodies got a lot better with so many small minions around. I think so. I do have Scribe with the... So Scribe is kind of fun with... Scribe is kind of fun with the... where is she? She's here somewhere, right? I have an Aspirant, right? Yeah, Aspirant. But Scribe is also super bad with triple buff. The 4 is pretty good. So no, right? The 4 is pretty bad, but the buffs might make it acceptable. The good thing about the no redraft is that there's no time limit. You can take your time drafting. We have 6 hours for 3 runs, so there is most definitely a time limit. 6 hours for 3 runs is not that much. But when I will be... So essentially, when I go into Rivals, I will have my cheat sheet at the ready, and when I have my cheat sheet at the ready, it'll be way easier for me to be like, okay, I need this, I need that, I need this, and then I won't be interacting with chat, so the draft will be way faster. Ooh, the draft will be way faster than we did right now. 3/6 on 5 is so weak. Why is that though? Isn't this a meta where there's lots of small minions? Okay, so we'll put it like this. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Fen Creeper, and if I hate it, then we'll be like, okay, maybe I would have liked the Explodinator for the buff synergy a bit more. The bombs are still only Goldshire Footman without Taunt in the end, right? Like, yeah, you have extra bodies, but they're still 1 and 2s. I want the Fen. The Fen makes sense. Woof! And are we not happy? I think this is yet again a very, very high quality 4-mana card that you can just be super picky with. The only problem with these combatants is that they are also a turn 6 play. 1/2s, 1/3s, sure. But I don't think well, maybe. I think I still want the combatant just for pure high quality. And then we can just curve out on them.
Malfurion versus Uther.
I will fight with honor.
I must protect the wild.
Yeah, the weakness of this deck is in the 1 and the 3 slot. There's no Acorn Bears to fix the curve. There's no... So I was thinking about just jamming Aspirant here, but it makes little sense, right? If he trades, you're off with a worse board state. And if he has an Argent Protector, you just lose the game. I think Runic Egg as well over the Mogashan makes so much more sense. Especially with ending up with Triple Blessing. Alright, this one always happens. I think we just go Aspirant, right? Ask him the question, can he deal with it? If not, we gain the mana. But a Stealth 3/2 was also not out of the question. I don't think you go for the Stealth 3/2 just because if he trades the one, it's going to be on 4, and 4 is double 2 anyway.
It's clobbering time.
Clobberino. Got it. Ooh. So we could rocket and charge into this guy and double trade. He's off the board, and we're likely to get a Scribe. If he consecrates, it's a little awkward. Is there any better way of doing this? We could leave him with this, but then he can buff it, right? No, I believe we will go for that play.
Another night on the prowl.
That was awkward.
For a loom.
Board, 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 board. Board, 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 board. Do, 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 do.
It's clobbering time.
That is not a consecration.
What a tragedy. Better write this down. For a loom.
Greetings from beyond the grave.
I guess we play Fen and trade the 2-2 into the 3-2 and then talk about whether we trade here or not. I think we probably want to end up making the trade. I could also play the Juggler and hope he hits that one, but...
What to do?
The thing is I need to play one card first. I might miss out on the damage, but maybe that's okay. I guess keeping the Fen higher health is better than keeping this alive. Or maybe we just don't want the Scribe to pop. We'll just play both of them, yeah, that's fine.
For no one.
It's on the level of Flappy. Aspirant's way better than Flappy. It's funny. People always overestimated Flappy. Sure, Flappy's annoying if it ends up popping off. But the amount of times Flappy pops off versus the amount of times an Aspirant pops off, it's not comparable. Because the Aspirant itself gives you tools to keep yourself alive, right? She literally gives you a mana advantage. Whereas Flappy is still a 3-mana 3-3 that you have to connect face with. It's so much easier to stop a Flappy than to stop an Aspirant. The Flappy ban was just pure pandering to the audience. Flappy was fine. Holy arena, okay. That just happened. Alright. That's sort of bullshit, is it not? Alright. So we have 3 damage on our face. 3, 2 is 5. We could kill the boom really, really cheap. I think we still do it, even though I want to go face. I think we have to have faith in the deck right now. So I'm gonna throw this in. I'm gonna throw this in. And 2 1/1s go in. Kill both the boom bots, leave him with the dudes. I think I want the 5 face though, right?
Nature strikes.
Deploying countermeasures.
That was insane bullshit.
Reporting for duty.
This is getting a little out of hand, guys. But we have a lot of good draws in the deck, so let's hope we hit one of them. That's one of them. That's enough, right? Alright. Thank you, game, to not let us lose to this Dr. Boom cheese. Woo! Couple whiffs in there as well.
Versus Uther.
That's why you smork in this meta. I think the kill on Dr. Boom still makes sense though, right? Because you get a 2-1 on the board and you have 3 damage on your face. So it's already 5 damage right there. So I think the kill on the Boom makes sense, but the 5 damage definitely have to happen, yeah. Oh yeah, Raid Leader indeed was another one we could have drawn. Typical 0-0 game. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty lucky that we got that good of a start with the Aspirants, because if we don't have that good of a start and he has his, what's it called? He has his thing, then it doesn't work for us. That's a really awkward double trade, but we have to do it, I think. Because, yeah, we can smork him for 2 and just put the piggy down. But then if he has Argent Protector, it's really awkward for
Reporting
us.
for duty.
Access denied.
It came down to the boombots, we got lucky. Well, it hit my it hit my combatant for, that's actually really nice. It hit my combatant for 3. I'm not sure if that's lucky. I mean, it's better than 4, but still. The hit on the face, I agree, was really nice for us. I guess in the end it didn't really matter, right? That this tanked it, yeah. I guess it worked out. Deploying countermeasures.
You're in trouble now.
For the wild.
What shall we hunt?
Deploying countermeasures.
What a tragedy. Better write this down.
For the wild.
Got one.
Malfurion versus Leandrin.
My blade burns with holy fire.
I must protect the wild.
But yeah, the bit I did at the start of the draft, that's what I do when I'm like, all right, let's get serious. Let's actually figure out how to draft decks in this meta. Hey Nabla, no, it's a little bit too hot. I've done it in the past and I've almost always regretted it. Who's ready to get cheesed by a coin MacWarper? That would be tragic to have a loss like that, but it happens in this meta, man. Oh, no cheese. Egg into 2 into rate leader, not good. No, you're still playing a 3 mana 2/2, right? Even if you're buffing an egg. Get out of here, MacWarper. Get out of my game. Play the Yeti for True Silver. The next turn, maybe Piggy buff, maybe just Combatant. We'll see. You need a shirt with a suit stamped on it. Oh, Piggy buff is amazing here. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Why did he play Zubat on 2? Because he wanted the MacWarper to survive. So that's why he played Hawksteed to kill more stuff.
Reporting for duty.
Hello, hello, hello.
That's annoying. It's not a bad Fen Creeper, but I think such awkward stuff can happen then, right? I think we still just bump in Scribe, and the next turn we have Fen Creeper Hero Powered Flame Juggler.
What a tragedy. Better write this down.
And I'm hitting in so that the Scribe can kill the Anoyo and buffs have less effect. Okay, he's not taking the 5. I think that's a mistake, right? He wants to keep more stuff alive. Wow, yes. You know I have Blessing of Ancients in the hand. Let's pop the Scribe. What the fuck, man? This was so good for us. 4 mana gone, and we're gonna have a higher chance now to buff stuff.
Reporting for duty.
So I'm gonna keep a body now. And I guess we played Juggler Creeper, right? And then next turn, yeah, this works out really well. Holy crap. That's so good for us. can't believe he just killed the scribe. That, like, he was gonna be super far ahead after playing Muster, and he fell so far behind by dedicating his entire turn to clearing the scribe. He trades, yeah. Very much so here.
For no mega.
For the nose! Ooh. Okay, probably just Dark Iron hero power. It's pretty solid. Next turn, combatant hero power buff, or... No, probably just that, right?
You call that a wasted?
I like getting him off the board here. Stop scooting. Yeah. Consecration?
Reporting for duty.
Yep. I can push 5 face, or I can buff my 2/2.
Waits for no one.
If he shovel fists the combatant, I'll play another combatant. I think I prefer the 5 face here.
For the wild.
Now he can't Kraken the 6/5. Right? And if he shovel fists the 6/5, it goes to 3, and then combatant hero power kills it. If he kills the dwarf, we add another combatant. Oh, he's just gonna take the damage. Okay, that's fine. That's also fine, right? I mean, then he's just going to get rushed down. That is okay. How much do we have? I think we just jam full face and we have this for damage, right?
Unleash the beast.
Another night on the prowl.
For the wild.
That buff ended up so good, right? Like, he took an extra 6 face because we buffed. That's really big. Oh, come on. Anything but that fucking crap. Should I have killed it? How do I kill it? No, I shouldn't have killed it. Killing it is stupid here. So he goes to 15, 9, 10.
Options.
We could potentially still win, but it's gonna be very difficult.
Anticipation commencing.
Alright. This is actually really annoying. He still gets to kill the 2/1. That sucks.
For the wild.
We lose? Not yet. There's 2 combatants, a Stormwind Champion, 2 Blessings of Ancient in the deck. But we're not in a good spot because he gained 18 health off his Kraken. He's still going to keep gaining a lot of health.
For duty.
Alright, that clears.
Unleash the
For the wild.
So he has 2 cards and a lifesteal, because a lifesteal doesn't do anything other than pure health which obviously helped them out a ton, but right now we're struggling to fight for board. Man, this is a one frustrating game, but it happens, I guess. He had the muster early on the consecration, and we shouldn't have been anywhere near being able to win had he not misplayed so heavily into the scribe. I guess it's just a little bit of it's a bit frustrating, right? You see him play so poorly into the scribe, and he gets away with it because he has muster later on, he has consecration, and then he has lifesteal kraken. But it happens, guys. It happens. We do what we can. He didn't play his middle card last round. What does that mean? What is the middle card here? Middle card could be a buff. Oof. Top deck the force tank, and he has lifesteal in the hand, so we can't rush him down. I think we officially lose now with that force tank being drawn. Man, this guy's order and how... Holy shit, so... He has all that stuff early and then just happens to draw into Kraken and 2 tanks in the late game. That's rather disgusting, actually. I'll give it to him.
Well played.
That's some quality deck management right there.
Malfurion versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
I must protect the wild.
I'm okay losing that match. It happens. That was just too much, right? Had he played it properly, we would have lost that a long time ago. Had he just ignored the scribe and gone face, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. Shady stilled it? I'm actually super fine. Because I think we... so, what happens sometimes is, right, like, if I feel like I'm messed up, let's say I feel like I make a small mistake. I think I push face, right, with this one. If I feel like I make a small mistake, and then our opponent gets lucky and wins, and I feel like I really messed up at the start and I would have still beaten him, sure. But I feel like we played it well. I think now I trade because I have these guys, right? This feels like a punish, but he would have just flipped and I would have had a 3-2. And I would have still traded to protect these, so it's actually the same. Yeah, the lifesteal spell, like, it's fine. Like, lots of stuff had to go his way that game. Lots of stuff had to go his way that game, and we did what we could. We saw a True Silver, we saw a Muster, we saw Consecration, we saw early mech stuff. Hopefully, you know, thankfully the Warper didn't pop off. So, that was just an unfortunate match.
Greetings from beyond the grave.
It's tempting to utilize this, but my board development is bad, so just work for that. It's a really good flame cannon. Unfortunate. I'm super high on flame cannon right now. I think it's a great card. I might have to go for a single buff here. No, I don't.
Unleash
For the wild.
We shall end this disturbance.
Pick your poison. Firelance Portal or Flame Strike. Trade 6 phase, Portal, left with a 3-2 and a 1-3 versus a 5-drop. I think because I have the buffs, I will choose to get Portals rather than get Flame Striked. Because if I don't have a board, my hand becomes significantly worse. So it's probably better to protect versus Flame Strike than protect versus Portal. Not even a portal.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
This egg has been lifting. Look at that. What? He had that. I'm so confused. He had that, chant.
Access denied.
Lethal? Unlikely? Unless you're saying suck the egg, draw damage, use the damage, the flame juggler hits him in the face. Boom! Alright, let's get a Savage Combatant for lethal here. Not quite.
Elune, guide my ranks.
For the wild.
Ha ha ha, just kidding, XD. XDDDDD, haha. Just a joke, streamer. Close. Monka W.
Furion versus Jaina.
I guess we don't have Monka Ban, right? Or whatever it's called. But I want to. He's free. Freedom. Freedom.
It's getting hot in here!
Alright, we're gonna need to cash in on this board soon. Need a buff here. That is not what I was looking for.
For the wild.
Give me that lifesteal. Isn't today Sunday? It is, but it's a little bit too hot. So I reserve a couple Sundays a year to say, fuck this shit. It's too hot. I'm wearing shorts. Haha. And I honestly could like put on, you know, a shirt and a tie, but I'd still wear the shorts. So I don't know. Every time I'd get up, I'd look like a clown.
Don't worry, loves. The
What's the definition of too hot for you? If I start sweating, it's definitely too hot. I think I want to keep the 1-2s, right? Because I have the thing coming in. Not to mention they have lifesteal. Why are there no new leaderboards since March 19? There are new leaderboards, right? They released the previous one.
I am undefeated.
I actually don't even know the numbers, Stein. Like, oof. A big oof right there, chat.
Got one. Put it on paper.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
What to do? What to do?
The universe unravels.
I guess he has a Ray of Frost, right?
You win this
I guess he's conceding, right? I'm getting me a 7-1.
Furion versus Jaina.
one. You asked for it.
I must protect the wild.
So far, Fen Creepers felt okay, right? I think better than Explodinator most of the time. Ooh, actual egg on curve. Let's go.
I can fix anything.
Raven, no.
Where my trees at?
Every game going first. How do I learn this skill? Just get good, man. Just get good.
Drag no stupid!
For the wild.
Soiled.
I can't play the Guardian here, right? I just get wrecked by the Trog then.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Sure.
Unleash the beast.
Soiled. Magic detected.
Nature strikes.
I think I prefer this because I'm probably gonna play Scribe, right? But if he plays something really good, I guess we could Combatant Hero Power and deal the 5.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Oof. That is a rough one for our good sir here.
Got one.
Nature strikes.
You want to buff once? It's so much worse against Flame Strike.
Me have master plan. You know stop me.
You win this one.
Me have master plan. You no stop me.
Malfurion versus Jaina.
Wow, we have a 100% paladin mage rate.
I must protect the wild.
Our first 3 opponents were paladin. Our last 4 opponents have been mage.
Job done.
Chat draft after this run? I was originally going to do some chat drafting, and I'm not sure yet. I feel like I want to give you guys, you know, at least one.
X marks the spot.
But man, this testing is fun. Oof. Really, really calculate the curve. Debated? Yeah, I'm gonna do at least one chat draft today.
Access denied.
I'm just not sure if I want to do another run first and then do chat draft. Let more people join.
My eyes are open.
Test chat draft. XD. XD. You have to be Dungeon Master today? Gotcha. Let's go. Ha, this is awkward. This is gonna hit here and I don't want it to happen. But Piggy hero power seems so bad. I think next turn we have to rate leader. So I guess I just Piggy into the 2-2 and play these guys and just get it over with. Next turn, raid leader Dendro or raid leader hero power. Again going first. Guys, coin is fun. Coin is cool. Going first is really good if you have a 1-drop though. And we've hit a 1-drop a fair amount of times. Alright, raid leader's pretty darn solid here.
Handle it!
Where my trees at?
You get hero power to go raid Piggy on turn 5. That is true, but we did have the Dendro. So I was sort of okay with it. Okay. I want to play Scribe, but Dark Iron's too sexy, right? Yes. Yes.
You call that a well?
Hit it very hard.
For the wild.
Soiled. Fen? Nah, raid leader was pretty good there. I'll take the raid leader. Stupid sexy Dark Iron. I know. How dare he? How dare he?
Done.
I think I still go Scribe Stealth. But Combatant Hero Power it down. Stealth the Combatant to play around Portal is not bad. I think Scribe Stealth is a bit better. Get the Scribe developed while we can.
I wonder.
What a tragedy. Better write this down.
Also means if you top deck one of our Blessings or Stormwind Champ, comes pretty nice. Not hit one of our buffs, unfortunately.
For the wild.
Done.
I don't really want to trade that 2-2, but Kraken doesn't get him there. Shovelfist doesn't get him there, so I think we can play slightly slower. Alright, buddy. If Kraken or Shovelfist had made him survive, then I would have pushed damage instead. If that made the difference, at least. But it didn't make...
Malfurion versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Hey, look, it's player 1 again.
The wild.
2 1-drops in there. 2 3-drops that are better. Could just keep the hand. It's pretty unexciting, but probably what you want to do, right? I don't know. Is Bronze Gatekeeper? No, it's not exciting enough. Let's go. This way, oof. All right, this way you have a chance at finding the Raven. Oh wow. I don't think playing a 1-5 on curve is good enough, right, to justify that. I guess I'll play the piggy. The ping might be relevant.
Minions, take to the
Hey,
street.
nice. Worked out rather well.
It's getting hot in here.
I love how the flame juggler's in the middle to do his thing. It's like, all right, your time for the spotlight again, Murloc.
The doctor is in.
And Dark Iron has been just really solid in this kind of curve. I guess he will never play second this round. I feel like I've already gone second at least once, but maybe you've kept meticulous track and it's not true. Were you here for since the very first game as well? Ooh. Oh my lord, that's amazing here.
What a tragedy! Better write this down.
Well, Blackie wins the board again.
I'll put it on your
Alright, I played around Toxfin rather than Brew Effects. Screw me, right? Raid Leader's not as good because he has a rush. I still think we do it and make him rush the 2-2.
Handle it.
Another night on the prowl.
for the wild.
Put it on paper.
You still get to push 7 damage. You get the rush out of his hand on the Raid Leader and then you combatants might be safe. Little punished for killing the Murloc, but I don't know. Toxfin's probably less common than Bounce. I should probably play around the Bounce more. It's good for next time. Yep.
Double time.
Yeah, he would have done that to the combatant had I not fished for it, right? I think it's fair what we did.
Unleash
For the wild.
We must stand together, united for Dalaran.
Put it on paper.
Not killing Khadgar is super scary, but I'm running out of cards versus a priest, so I don't think I can afford to trade Khadgar out of fear of... What priest stuff is there? Power word replicate? Is the silence thing in or not? Yeah, if Free from Ember was in, you have to give that a lot more consideration. But I feel if I trade, I lower my win rate, so I'd rather not trade.
What a tragedy! Better write this down.
Like, yeah, if he happens to have if he happens to have a summon thing, it sucks. But I'm running out of cards. He needs to run out of health. 6 damage is a lot. Face. Hey.
You have been.
Good. That was a tough turn because we know he has the rush, and we know if we play Raid Leader, we're gonna lose Raid Leader before Scribe gets popped. Funny enough, the game ended before Scribe got popped. I think we hit a Raven. Oh, and there's a coin, and it's against the Rogue. Alright. We could do this. We could keep Combatant, but versus Rogue, I think Combatant is worse because it's 4 HP and it's likely not gonna do anything. Because it won't survive the turn. So I'll throw this, and I'll try to find Yeti, I'll try to find Dark Iron Dwarf, or just small things, yeah. Even Scribe, I think, is a better hit than Combatant. Sap's not super common right now. You could potentially keep the 1-5, but the 1-5 is a bit of a meme thing, right? That's also fine. Might coin 3s with this hand. Arena rotation without Classic. That's a special. I'm not sure if they'll ever do that. They're very, very, you know, new player oriented, so removing all the cards a new player should know, that might be a little scary. If I Hawksteed here, I keep a 1-1. Hawksteed? If I microtech here, I keep 2 1-1s, but I lose my coin. I feel like with this hand, I might want to save this coin, right? Let's play a piggy. One of the few worlds where a piggy is just worse than a 2-3. When played into the rogue dagger.
For a little while, I pack a big punch.
I had a feeling he was gonna deadly poison. It's weird, but I don't. Yeah, it makes no sense here, right? Because a piggy just is good. It's great for us. Like, we love it. Now we can coin Scribe if we find something for 4. Worst case, we can just play a Rocket or Saber Hero Power. No fan. Ooh, very good. Very, very good. Okay. I can understand. I can understand. It dies so easily on this board. I get it. It's still funny, but I get it. I'm gonna put it over here. He's not gonna betrayal anything anyway. That was funny though. Ooh, okay, we dodged it. Nice. New players? They went extinct a long time ago. You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. We get there's this whole market, right, of just parents, sometimes even grandparents, but mostly parents. Like, you guys know Toyda, right? His mom has every class golden. Alright. There's a big market out there, man. Alright, looks like we getting Scribes online.
What a tragedy! Better write this down.
Damn. His mom? Yep. Are you implying his mom is a noob, Shady? She's asked to play Arena with me, so said next time I go there, we play Arena, so that'll be fun. I'm not like, no, I don't think she wanted it streamed, so. I think she plays primarily Smork decks, right? So it's kind of cool. His father also plays, also a Smorker. Good family. all to Smork.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Put it on paper.
I get
He's like, man, I didn't get a single 2/2 with Rush. And I'm like, yep, that's how that card's supposed to work. Fuck that card.
Malfurion versus Valera.
watch your back.
I must protect the wild.
No 1-drop against Rogue. Mocha Shake. This feels like a pretty good coin turn, yeah. Test the 2/3.
Oh, up to no good. Me too.
Miscreant's just a good stat line as well in a lot of like board states, right? Well, good. Acceptable, right? Obviously 3-mana 1/4 is not good, but you know what I'm trying to say. Relevant. That's what I'm trying to say. Stat line is relevant in a lot of these board states. Me too. I feel like if I play Savage Combatant, I'm gonna get wrecked, but at the same time, I think it's the only play that could potentially pull me ahead. Saber Piggy just doesn't cut it here. The Piggy gets mauled by this.
From nothing, power.
Don't be eviscerate, please. Even if it sticks on this board, it's not good yet. Oh no. Oh well. I don't think we buff yet, right? We spread, and next turn we buff. I feel like the Raven always happens. I think a 3/2 happens as well.
Another night on the prowl.
Time waits for no one.
Nature strikes.
I think I might actually hero power over Piggy.
For the wild.
Because right now the pig doesn't make the difference. And if we save a Piggy, we can use Piggy with the second round of buffs as well.
I wonder.
Oh yeah. I think every generation is like, doesn't really see it coming from themselves, but when we're old, we're gonna be still using keyboards and shit, and our children and grandchildren are gonna be like, it's like using a typewriter, right? You're just used to it. But if people use a typewriter right now, we're like, what the fuck are you doing, right? It's kind of funny. Ooh, man, I did that yesterday. He has my sympathy. It's not fun to do. At least he's not streaming it, right? So there's the upside of making him dagger, and the upside of dealing the face. I think I actually trade here. Bodies are super important. And for all we know, he wants to just play a scribe, and then I get to double buff the 1 HP minion, right? Whereas if he does it the other way, and he still daggers, he still takes 3 instead of 4, so it's actually sort of okay. I think because of the buff in hand, it makes sense. WoW Classic, don't be silly. Such a thing will never happen. Alright, I can buff twice here for 6 damage. That gives me 3 off lethal. And a whole lot of stuff on board. I'll take it, yeah. I'm using the wrong one because I'm using it twice anyway. Maybe he forgets.
This be our neck of the woods.
I get
Smart.
Malfurion versus Medivh!
Let the games begin. I must protect the wild.
guide my lands.
Player 1 now, haha.
For a loon.
What about AR, where you can make all your loved ones have the face of George Clooney? Just walk around like... Oh, he's not killing my mana here. Ooh. That is good. Very, very good. Curve him, baby. Curve him.
Pay attention, class. What shall we hunt?
For the wild.
For a loon.
Yeah, I'm not going second anymore.
They are bend to my command. What a tragedy.
He's gonna kill our mana now, unfortunately. What can you do?
Got one.
Can Flappy do this? Yeah, exactly, right? You can't, I mean, without Innervate, you can't turn one Flappy and win the game. Don't kill my mana! Don't kill my mana! I need it! No! Ooh. No! That's actually better, thank you. Aspirant, baby.
Well,
Wow.
For the wild.
What a gentleman.
Checkmate.
He gets destroyed by a 2-drop. And you're still hip, Shady. It's the children who are wrong. I like that. It's a good perspective.
You face Mechajiraxis!
I must protect the wild.
I'm hip. I'm cool. Down with the kids.
Why do you go?
Don't demon fire me, bro.
Look out below!
Did not demon fire me.
Island lover.
For the wild.
We could have gone for Piggy, but looks like next turn we need to play. So Piggy and Egg preps for Dark Iron a bit better, I think. Solid.
I am ready.
I liked the God, what's their name again? The Lonely Island YOLO thing.
Stop copying me!
I listened to that one quite a bit. Ugh. Alright, maybe after the scribe. Turn 5 is our weakness, but at the same time, usually it's okay because we have a board by now, but this guy went off. Usually turn 5 you play Piggy and this thing.
Bubble, bubble.
Knowledge is power, and I know a lot.
Soulfire, Shadow Bolt, okay. Rough game, rough game. This kills this, this, and this. This thing gets free traded. Good talk. I guess if the juggle is lucky and you hit the 2-1 or one of the... Well, it's not necessarily lucky, it's 60%, but still. You should still go for this.
What a tragedy! Better write this down.
Hop on! We're going for a ride.
Shush!
Shush. He's a shusher. We got ourselves a shusher, boys. One of them shushers. Shushers? Shusher. Shushero. I think the Dreamway Guardians and the Bronze Gatekeeper happen. So then we don't buff, right? Just play the juggler. This always goes in here.
It's getting hot in here!
Access denied.
What shall we hunt?
You like the buff. So you're not playing the taunt?
Freed from the curse.
Sort of dangerous though, right?
I learn.
Want some peace and quiet?
I learn. Oh, he needed board space. Got it. He's not killing the scribe then. Okay. Because if he were killing the scribe, one of his minions would die anyway. Yeah, you sort of have to kill the lifesteal, I think. Gets super punished if he doesn't. Okay. It was actually not too bad. It's bad, but not too bad. We only need 3 out of this, right? This goes in here.
What to do?
This goes in here. This goes in here. And then we talk about buffing again or not. So
Put it on paper.
this goes in here. This goes in here. This goes in here. Buffing again should be preferable over hero powering. Hero power only saves us 1 damage, right?
Time waits for no one.
This also means we can straight up kill him if he doesn't trade anything.
Stop copying me! Stop copying
Not trading, yeah, not trade, that doesn't make sense, right? You'd either trade the shield or trade nothing. You're look at them scrolls. Woo! Sorry, that was a little loud. I've been spoiled by the other version a bit. I might play it later, but I think it's copyrighted. So I might play it after the run. Looks like he's got a wand. I like the Bottega shuffle, the shovel. I think I might actually just buff here. The buff is so strong. We got 3 of these anyway. Well, 6 of them actually. The effective stats of +1/+1 here is so impactful. You get to remove the mech, the 2/3 is a bad trade for him. Super useful. There we go!
Reporting for duty.
Time to lose the game to another Paladin and Muster. That means our 2 losses are Paladins and Muster. That would be disgusting. Fun way to lose. Oh, well, there's actually tons and tons of Twitch rival stuff going on all the time, Zanthi. So the Hearthstone Arena one is a really low priority to them. So it's sort of normal that gets the bad one, to be honest. I think I will kill both the 1/1s because I have Fen Creeper coming up, right? Rather than kill the 2/3. I think 2 1/1s for me right now is a little bit more threatening. No, if you Seal of Champs here, it's actually more annoying, right? It's actually better to kill the 2/3. Because then if you Seal of Champs a 1/1, I can hero power it back. Yeah, there was a Stardew Valley Twitch Rivals. It's really funny. For someone who's never played Stardew Valley, like, I think it's like, at first glance, it's like, well, how can you do a Rivals of that? But then when you think about it, it's like, oh, I guess you can definitely find a way. Unfortunately, we are getting destroyed. But that's sort of
Well played.
that's sort of normal after him getting the muster on curve. It's too good. Not much you can do against that.
Reporting for duty.
Maybe if we get a scribe, right? And we get to buff it. Okay, that helps. Basically just destroy the Shredder for 2 mana. Very efficient. He might choose to trade this. Oh, he will definitely choose to trade this. But unfortunately, we are not too happy with that. It's gonna give him a lot of health. Not playing around Toxfin. With 5 mana, we're jamming defend there, for sure. That Cult Master was, yeah. Everything's been a bit too perfect for now. At least the Shredder really worked with us. No. Just sack the 1-2 and take the 5. Don't be stupid here. Why the fuck would you ever trade the 2-3? Holy shit. Okay, he must have something specific, like another Toxfin, I don't know.
Quickly.
It still did something. Assuming he's not stupid, he has something, right? Which made him sack the 2-3. Oh, maybe not that he's stupid, but he forgot it. Still not a good enough reason, right? He's just gonna walk all over us, though. Oh.
Well played. I can.
Good game. He played Master on 3 and downhill from there. Oh, oh no. Did I get sniped? Alright.
I must protect the wild.
Ah.
Born underground, suckled from a teeth of snow, raised in the dark, the safety of a mountain home.
Sniped at 11. Crazy, right? All it took was a 4-minute queue.
Dig and dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole.
Hide your hand if you know it's a sniper. No. Sorry. Ghosting and sniping is not the same thing, right? So he's a viewer, so I'm assuming that he's not watching my hand. Oh right, I still have autoplay on. Oopsie. Win trading. Reported banned. Feels bad, man. It's just that I was on your stream, I felt bad. Yeah. I think okay, so first of all, it's okay, right? But whenever you play against the streamer and you didn't intend to, the best you can do is just immediately close the stream, play it out, right? If you want to not feel bad about it. Because I don't think a streamer will ever be happy with you just throwing the match like that. But at the same time, obviously getting, you know, at the same time, getting sniped and then ghosted and they look at your hands feels even worse. So, but it's okay, man. It's tough to know what to do, right?